Yeah, and a couple standouts here as well. During the week, we did some fun exhibition games. We had some Widow 1v1s. Oh, looks like we're about to get ready here. But before I end that, so we take a look at Jazz Hands. Both Larry and Weebu made it to the finals of the Widow 1v1. So
Now
I can see some
arriving
Widow
at
action happening.
Phoenix.
Maybe not on this map, but maybe on others. But here
Initiating
we go.
match.
We are going to Ruins here
Well,
in
this is
Ilios.
a classic Widow map. This one
It
stage
is.
of Ilios is really where you're going to see a lot of long range hit scan going. When what I'm going to be looking out for here is the duel between, well, whoever of Larry and Weeaboo decide they're going to be taking the hit scan duties, and Pink on the other team, because
Ready for
we all know
battle.
Pink likes to click some heads.
For sure, and we're already seeing the lineup here as Weebu, being the winner of the 1v1 over Larry, has Widow dominance, excuse me,
Exactly.
in the group. So there we go.
Yeah, purple skin dominance, and Pink is throwing us for a loop here. Let's see if they actually stick on this Doomfist, as we've got
5,
kind of a
4,
hybrid dive
3,
on
1.
Hubris Hamster,
Round
and
1.
a little bit
Action.
more of a, I guess you could say, brawl with a long range hit scan for our other team here.
Yeah, absolutely. You get that sort of long range support as Weebu starts to open up some shots, hoping to get some early picks. But the Rhine shield of Papaphobic is going to keep their team nice and topped up, protected from those bullets. But it looks like, oh, I don't have the labels up. I'm so silly. Papaphobic, yeah, leading the charge, and the team has taken over the point. God, give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And we're looking at Asaid doing a huge dash through, but getting taken out immediately. And Harbear trades it off with taking out Pocketbook on the other side. We've got Ruby really causing a ruckus in the background, but while that's happening, Larry takes out two and then is traded again. This is really back and forth as Papa starts swinging into the enemy team here, as Cheese is beaming him down, and we're just kind of waiting on respawns, as we still haven't seen a cap yet. It looks, however, like it is going to go over to Jazz Hands finally, as those last couple kills, and we'll see if they have a stagger here, as yep, Harb and Pink are just going to have to try and back off with that pick onto Pocketbook. We're going to see Larry going for a bit of a flank here on the high ground, just getting his quads a workout with a nice crouch walk here, as Harb, to nobody's surprise, is flanking around the right side, and we'll see if Larry sees that and drops for a little bit of a headshot here.
Yeah, looks like Asaid has found the sneaky Reaper just in the back, and a bit of collapsing here as he teleports away out to safety with big lines, taking out Larry. This is the first pick here for Hubris Hampter to really get this fight started. Big Purple coming in, as well as Harbear finishing off Pocketbook, and the rest of the team collapse. Even with the window down, it wasn't enough damage to really suppress that team fight. And here we go, Hubris Hampter taking over the point, and Jazz Hands will have to back out of the fight.
Yeah, they get about just under 50% here on Jazz Hands, and with Weebu taking out Pink and no mercy on the side, they were gonna have an advantage, but Asaid says, please don't hurt my purple lady. I don't like that one bit. And now we're gonna take a look at the ults here. Hamster has a lot more ults on the table than Jazz Hands. Just after a couple of swaps here, we're really only coming up on Grav, Beat, and Primal, whereas we've got a full 6 for Hamsters going into this new fight. How Jazz Hands gonna win this?
Yeah, it's a bit of tiptoeing right now as the first dive coming in from Pocketbook to really set up the team fight, but he gets kind of cornered out as Ruby does take him out. Here comes the Nano Genji Blade from AC. He does get stunned, though. He does take out K-Bears and Larry as well. Continues his rampage all the way through Ruins, but unfortunately, the rampage must come to an end as Dumpling on that Brigitte comes forward, but unfortunately, it is all for naught as Sia does get that dash kill and finishing off the fight, and they keep that point all to themselves.
Pocket dies 4% away from Primal there, and huge shatter into the enemy spawn there.
Big Shadow does take out Cheese Grater here. Rebu has swapped over to the Tracer as well. A little bit more mobility rather, coming here from Jazz Hands. They need to put a bit more pressure there on the back line. Papa Bobic's done a really good job of keeping that front line really, really strong.
Yeah, and take a look at Harbor, kind of out on an island here. Does have that that ulta pop if he feels like in danger, and pop it. Okay, Weeaboo's gonna say, let's make this more of a fair fight.
Yeah. Tracer getting real thirsty and just said, you know what, this coast is beautiful. I'm gonna take a swim. But the fight continues on as Saeed gets the dash kill onto Dumpling. The fight continues. The beat is going to be dropped as well by Jazz Hands. High noon from Larry. Will it find anything? Does get the D-Mech on to Ruby, but the Ruby says, I'm going to drop a little bit of a bomb, which will take out Cheese Grater. Pick lines, though, finding Pocketbook all the way in the back.
And overtime's ticking. They've got to stay on with only 2 left here. It's not looking good for Jazz Hands.
Absolutely. Pink lines swapping over to that Widow was a really good choice to contend, but, you know, Hubris Hampter take it in the end.
Yeah, they say, listen, put on some soft gloves if you're going to handle my furry body. Okay, Jazz Hands? Be gentle.
I do not want to go to the vet. Thank you very much. I'm trying to wrangle enough animals into a crate or something just to get them to a vet, to the vet, and no animal likes it. It's just science.
Yeah, give me my pellets, put me back in my wheel, and get out of here. Go dance your jazz somewhere else. Now as we pull on to, well, my favorite stage of Ilios, are we looking at Boop Central? We're gonna see a teleport here from Jazz Hands. Let's see if Larry goes back over to that Pharah once everybody's out, and yeah, it looks like it. So we're gonna be seeing the Hog and the Lucio for Hubris, but a lot more Boops with Ball, Hog, Pharah on the side of the Jazz Hands.
Yeah, and fight's already bringing out Big Purple there onto Saeed. He might be in a bit of danger, but Dumpling finding the first final pick onto Papaphobic. Hubris Hampter looking a little rough for wear, but Saeed does get Cheese Grater in the end. But Larry with that aerial superiority with the Mercy Pocket as well, up to some really, really good damage. And it looks like Pocketbook's in a bit of trouble here, but it looks like he'll be able to take the point. Nope, just kidding. Saeed says, none of that. I will step one little robotic foot onto the point and make sure we stall it out a little bit more, as Hubris Hampter have now really built up a lot of momentum here.
Yeah, and Saeed, not a player that I'm super familiar with. I feel like, is this their first Overwatch journey with us?
I believe so. It might. I believe so. But Larry's doing some serious work on this Pharah. Almost building up for this ultimate, just waiting for it. And there it is. The ultimate is ready, waiting for it. But he's got to deal.
Oh, the hook doesn't land. Oh, it pulls him right to safety again. Unfortunate there for Ruby. Doesn't get the pick on Cheese.
Yeah, but Weeboo now picking up Papaphobic, as well as they say, here comes Larry with the barrage, but a big sleep as well coming from Dumpling to put him out, and Pink Lines busting out that visor, getting the double kill on those aerial pests in the sky. The Nano's also delivered onto Pink Lines, which might have been a bit of a fat finger, but only time will tell.
Yeah, and we're coming up on 50% very soon here for Hubris Hampter, and right now Saeed and Pink are really asserting a bit of dominance in the DPS head-to-head between the two teams. Just getting a little more value out of their ults and neutral.
Yeah, absolutely. Good defense here from Hubris Hampter, but now Jazz Hands start making their way in here as Larry the
Pocket slept with the Nano.
Oh no, that's the most frustrating thing. Larry taking out Ruby. Big mines here as well, all around the well, as Pocketbook pushes Papaphobic right into the mines that he laid. I did not know hamsters were egg-bearing creatures, but now we do know for sure as the fight continues. But the blade as well from Saeed does find K-Bears as well as Pocketbook. This might be a save.
Exactly what I'm talking about here, and we're coming up on 90% soon. If Jazz Hands wants to have a chance on this map, they're going to have to reset and come in really, really quickly. Less than 10% to go.
Yeah, Larry, just a lot of that pressure here. Big Boop out of that shatter, making sure no one gets hurt by it. Pink Lines with another visor, getting the protection, but Weeble with the high noon, taking out Pink Lines and all the goals. A big sleep onto Ruby as he's sitting there vibrating with that Nano. Will he get the hook onto Weeby? He does and finishes it off. It's not looking too good here as the purple has also been landed onto it. The beat is dropped by Harbor.
Huge boop.
Yeah, big boop as well from Pocketbook. And another boop from Larry on a sleeping Ruby. My goodness, what a shot. The
Res comes out.
Yeah, big res onto Weebu as well as Jazz Hands looking like they are in command of the point now.
Wow, what a scrappy fight, and really coming down to the wire here is we've got a 99 to 7% right now, so they're gonna need to win about 4 fights in a row here, depending on how long they go, to have a chance at staying in this map 1.
Yeah, and watch out for Eviscerator too on that Ana, because we've got Larry with that barrage as well. It's a very targetable thing for an Ana to sleep. And take him right out of the fight. But Pocketbook being a menace, just screwing up their backline, but a big hook there by Ruby and a counter one as well. Here comes Larry with the barrage, and the caster curse is alive and well as Larry gets slept with, does do some damage though, taking out 2 members of Jazz Hands as well. The res is going to be coming in from K-Bears for Cheese Grater, and the fight will continue on as looks like Jazz Hands will be able to defend this.
If you can get 2 out of your barrage before you get slept or taken out, and luckily there, Larry doesn't die for that sleep as Cheese gets a big hook on Said to reset the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just take a minute. We do have bingo cards as well, everyone. So somewhere on the Discord, and I believe Caster's Curse is one of them, as Larry taking a Pop-Up-Phobic. Hubris Hampter looking a little worse for wear here as Weebu and Larry just doing so much work. On the DPS spectrum.
I think we've got the labels on the opposite teams right now. Am I crazy here?
No, they should be opposite.
Oh, okay. I thought blue team was Hubris Hamster. Am I right? Or is it Pocket?
So. Oh, I might. Oh, it's one of those days. It's the
we're coming up on last fight, so we'll get a reset afterwards. What's going on right now, Druid?
We've been with the high noon. The big shield there by Pop-Up-Phobic to keep everyone nice and toasty and alive here. And we've got Hubris Hamper all the way on the point, trying to get in, but Larry with the barrage, finding Harbor and Eviscerator. We've been taking out Pop-Up-Phobic as well. The fight continues on as the visors from Macied is coming up. Will he find anything? Unfortunately, not his Pocketbook, the stalwart hamster that they are. Looks like they'll be able to take back, and we are tied here in Ilios.
Pocketbook says, I'm the real hamster here. Get out of my well. That's where I keep my pellets. And yeah, we got a reset here on the team names. I wasn't wrong this once. And final round here of Ilios. We're gonna be at the lighthouse. Gonna be just checking out for the ships to come in after a hard day at sea. Just fishing for those pixel fish, which, as we all know, is a staple part of the hamster diet.
Oh, for sure. Or anything they can really get their hands on, but
yeah, they're scavengers. They're like a tiny version of a mix of a raccoon and a hyena. They go in packs and they feast on dead flesh.
Oh my goodness. Hubris Hampter opting to take the fast route here and to get underneath that lighthouse. And they are now in control of the point, but it doesn't unlock until another 5 seconds. Pocketbook. Ooh, a big sleep all the way in the back here. Big Lion's trying to get some damage in, but it looks like the point is going to be starting to go in their favor, but big damage coming in as well as big purples. And it looks like Cheese Grater is going to be taken out by that purple and Ruby in combination. And this has got Hubris Hampter all over it.
Yeah, you can really see how much work Viscerator did there with the purples, because look at that percentage in comparison. Already at a nano after one pretty quick fight.
Absolutely.
I think they landed a 5-man nade there, so this is going to be a really big advantage coming into this final round here.
Is this a swap? Yeah, this is a swap here for Larry, right? He was on.
Oh no, he's been on the he's the crazy one going for the barrages in everybody's face. As we're nearing 33% here for Hamster. Let's see if Pocket can get a clean engage as Larry and the Mercy going around the back with K-Bears.
Oof, that was a big charge and sleep and purple there onto Pocketbook as he gets immediately deleted right underneath the lighthouse. But
Larry and K-Bears with 2 in the back.
Yeah, that's a great picks here as Harbor almost getting booped off, but the Skater Boy is very much alive and well as if it were Avril Lavigne herself.
But now see you later, boys. Pocket comes in and swings right into that Bada Bada. And looks like we're going to see a little bit of a change here with Weeaboo cleaning up and Asai just trying to stay alive as long as we can. And 1% short of nice at 68%. The point flips over.
Absolutely. And, you know, people who are new to Overwatch as well, and you're wondering, okay, why are these people? Why don't they just go back, regroup with their team? Especially if you've gotten the lead and you want to push that percentage as long as possible. So if you can stall at that point just a little bit longer, you go for it, and then get back with your team and start up the next team fight.
I believe the term is tactical feeding.
Tactical feeding, absolutely. But we've got our first pick here as Larry taking up pink lines. Here comes the high noon from Weeaboo, I believe, and Saeed with the Dragon Blade and Larry with the barrage. It is an ultimate fiesta, a buffet, if you will, and lots of damage coming in, but this has got Jazz Hands written all over it. Big, big, big take here. They flipped it. They
did flip it, and it's flipped back now, so that's an extra... almost 20% that they got there. So I feel like Jazz Hands is going to be okay with that, but definitely not ideal. As Larry says, I get a minimum of 2 kills per barrage. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Pocketbook with the mines, but check out Hubris Hampter. They've got ults ready to go.
Let's see if Pocket goes in for a denial with the mines or wants to put it on point to control that space. It doesn't have as much value out here in the open.
Yeah, high noon from Weave doesn't find anyone, but Asai taking him out before the cause. And Larry taking out pink lines and all of that glory. 1-for-1 here. Beat is dropped by Harbor as the fight continues on. Ruby trying to get some damage. Cheese Grater holding the ground. Very high charge. Zarya coming into the fight, but eventually gets collapsed on by Papaphobic and the rest of the crew.
Point's flipping.
Yeah, point is flipping over.
Oh, so close.
Larry taking out 2 as well.
And there's those mines. So Pocket just doing the best to stall and keep this Rhine in check.
Papaphobic did fall here. I mean, you can stall this out a little bit more, but...
Oh, but pink.
So they do get the flip.
And once again, we're in last fight territory for both teams as we're not nearing that 90% for Hubris Hamster, and Pink comes in and just clicks 3 heads at the end of that fight. We're getting a full reset here, so we only have a couple of ults online. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Jazz Hands starting. Yep. Trying to collapse here. The barrage finding too the bomb as well coming. It doesn't find anything, but
trades.
Nothing but trades here coming in here, folks. Here comes the blade in the back here from AC. He does find Weeaboo. Can he find anyone else? Yes, Cheese Grater falls as well as K-Bears. Oh my goodness, and they take the points. Hubris Hampter take it in Ilios.
Larry says, I get 2 with every barrage. Saeed says, I get 3 with the blade. 3 larger than 2. Quick maths. Jazz Hands, unfortunately not coming away with that first round with Saeed just coming in clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with so many counters, right? Like we saw the Hogs, we saw the McCree as well. Lots of ways to sort of negate the damage and kill potential of a Genji. But Saeed did such a good job there of just finding the right opportunities, getting those. I remember that last team fight. Hubris Hampter had all the ults except the Nano and the Genji Blade, and they essentially had those in store for the last end of that fight, which was really interesting. You saw that payoff all the way at the end.
This is looking like it's going to be a pretty tight one. If we're talking pretty much 99-99 on all 3 of those maps, it doesn't get any closer than 3 rounds of that on Control.
Yeah, absolutely. And let us just check. Oh, that's actually perfect. Okay, excellent. We've got the stream up as well.
We do. So we're being treated to the finest of NA productions for this Overwatch for Charity stream. Just big thanks to everybody in the community for just running such a really great thing. I know it's just the start. We've got a lot more to show, but I've just got to say it's been a pleasure working with everybody. Dr. Rice is not only putting together this wonderful stream, doing the observing, he's also cooking eggs on top of his computer as we speak. It's Master Spectating and Master Chef all in one.
Yeah, it's a spectacle to be sure. Look at this production, ladies and gentlemen, everyone involved. It is just so well done. Owl, eat your heart out. This is the new, okay?
June jousts. I didn't see any jousting so far.
Actually, there was an exhibition of they were jousting. It was.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, it was.
I gotta go watch that again.
It was a Reinhardt on top of an Orisa.
Okay.
And it was very adorable. I enjoyed it. So the joust part I sort of get, but I like High June. I think that looks and feels awesome. High noon,
personally, right? I don't know. As a big fan, and I know you are too, which dude, I cannot wait to go with you once things open back up again. But as a big fan of medieval times, Orisa and Reinhardt that just doesn't cut it for jousting.
I thought about taking up a part-time job where I would be hired to go to you with medieval times. I paid for my own ticket, but you just feed me beers. Okay, feed me beers. Mead, actually, is what we'd like to call it. I will dress up in peasant garb, burlap sacks, the whole 9 yards, and I will cheer. And I will guarantee, this is a Druid guarantee, I will get you your night at least second place, just due to my cheering.
It's
guaranteed.
Actually, I have many connections to medieval times. A good friend of mine used to actually work there. I've definitely partied with the knights. Humble brag, weird flex, but it is what it is. And that type of war and battle is really what we're seeing here as we're about to jump into a new one pretty soon. What are we going to be looking for as we look towards this next map of Blizzard World? What do you want to see coming out of Jazz Hands to try and take this map off of Hubris so they don't go down 2-0?
Yeah, great question here. So we've seen Larry being very, very predominant on this Pharah with K-Bears on the Mercy, and Weebu with a great McCree as well. And I think with Blizzard World, you get a lot of opportunities to move around and find some high ground. If that's their case, I think Hubris Hampter is going to have to deal with that with Pink Lions. AC seems to see, we've only seen them play the Genji and I believe some soldiers. So depending on how they want to play this on their DPS wise, and we know Pocketbook loves to play that ball, so we can kind of see this sort of dive potential coming in for Jazz Hands.
Yeah, when I'm looking at this, for what I see, I feel like in that last round, I've played with Pocketbook. Pocketbook is a phenomenal hamster, and as a hamster lover myself, and by that I mean I like to play hamster in Overwatch. Sometimes it can get a little bit outclassed when you're fighting into a Ryan Zarya on the other side, or a Ryan Diva in this case.
For sure. And you know what? It comes all down to communication with your team. And having played with Pocketbook a few times, they definitely know when to communicate. Okay, guys, I'm going in. We're going to set up this team fight, right? Because essentially, you have an off tank that's not in the fight. No one else to soak up some bullets, soak up some damage for your team to heal. And it can be a little overwhelming, right? It's almost very similar to how Sombra works in a lot of these compositions, where they're not really in the team fight, but they're kind of in the team fight.
Yeah, and we are going to see that that slight difference of Ryan Zarya on the side of the Jazz Hands here, and Ryan Diva for Hubris Hamster.
Absolutely. I just realized I've got double audio coming through, and that is entirely my bad. But it looks like the team of Jazz Hands they're just going to go right down the main entrance of this theme park. Right by the statue. I'm sure it's someone from Warcraft. That's very important. General Tulivin, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So Jazz Hands are going to be taking all the stairs up to the flight to Duskwood. Very, very short and odd little flight.
And we're going to be looking at the May here to try and create some gaps in the team, but that is really going to be to try and isolate the Reinhardt. So let's look for Jazz Hands to try and engage on a Papaphobic to get that advantage as they take the high ground here, and Weebu gets a pick.
Yeah, big opening picks onto Pink Lines and Eviscerator, but a big purple as well came into the fight as well. But this has got Jazz Hands written all over it. Only 2 left on point. Ruby and Harbor left all alone. Poor Zenyatta will eventually be focused down, and this point is going all towards Jazz hands.
You know, as somebody who has died to many a right click from Harb, there's no such thing as poor Zenyatta. It's just called karma. It is what it is. As that's a really quick take. First fight, first take here for Jazz hands. Much better start to the second map.
Yeah, I was interested to see. So they wrapped all the way up to that high ground, and they put the pressure onto Hubris, and they didn't really know what to do. And already an opening pick on this second point of Blizzard World from Larry and Weeboo. So lots of damage already being done as they take the high ground yet again. The cart is being toted around here by K-Bear's High Noon, coming around all the way from the back from Weeboo. Does find Harbor. Big opening pick. Ruby does get demeched. But Ruby does get the last laugh in taking out Weeboo, but that's not really stopping. Here comes Pocketbook being charged, and the recipient of that nano does get taken out. That is unfortunate.
That's a lot of damage at once.
Yeah, big retaliation here from Hubris Hampter as they start to get a bit of control. The card is still moving, but not for long, as there's only 3 left on point, 2 healers and an off tank. But they will be backing up. Oh, the hammer! It didn't find anyone!
Looked like maybe a fat finger to me, as a Pocketbook looks to re-engage with their own hammer. Let's see if they look to drop it really soon here.
Yeah, they've got a snow globe as well. Big wall to block out that window from the Baptiste. I see it does take out Pocketbook, unable to use that hammer, and it looks like they'll just have to wait around for it. I see in the back, trying to get some help, does get some healing. Ooh, very close by Larry to block him off, but Weeboo taking the Reaper of Acid out of the fight, and this might be their time to pounce as the members of them start backing up.
Yeah, we're seeing a big difference here with the more rush favored style for Jazz hands and a bit more of a poke comp from Hubris, and that's just a clean fight.
Yeah. Big snow globe there by the May of Larry, and Dumpling with a great purple as well to finish everything up. A big sleep as well. Remember, the charge kill from Pocketbook will clean up this fight. Harbor and Co are trying to get some build up resistance here. Here comes another nano onto Pocketbook just to secure the fight. Still hasn't used that hammer as well. Ruby dropping that bomb as well, but that's not going to stop everyone as Pocketbook kept that sleep. Pocketbook slept again. How many times have Pocketbook been slept? This is great.
We're seeing some really great defensive nanos coming out of Dumpling here. Also a newer player to the league. An IRL friend of mine. Weird, those exist in these COVID times. As we move on to this third point, and this is where we're seeing a swap. Ruby is saying, look, the D.Va is not working for me. I need to match the Zarya because Cheese is just getting more value for their Reinhardt with this pick.
Absolutely. As he's coming in the back with the Blossom, but only finding Larry, as Ruby does get the flashbang onto them, taking them out of the fight. Here comes the beat as well. The hammer from Pocketbook finally lands and taking out Popopovic, all nano charged and such. But Pink Lions does find Pocketbook in all of that madness, so they'll be down their main tank as they take it on to the third point.
Yeah, and this is where spawn advantage is going to be a real thing. So let's see if Hubris Hamster is going to engage fast enough, or if Cheese is going to try and stick around until Pocket's back, because that's looking a little bit iffy on the positioning here.
Yeah, Larry dropping that snow globe doesn't really catch anyone. Almost got a boot back into it onto Popopovic, but it won't be enough. I see he does need to get out. He's he's very low.
There's the nano again.
Yeah, another nano, another graviton surge. Pocketbook finding 2. The Squire and the Knight both fall in this team fight, but Pink Lions, a bit of revenge here, but picks on either side, but that's not going to stop him as Pocketbook start leading the charge here. Almost just took it home himself.
It's so close, and we're just down to the wire here as we're making trades, but trades are really going to favor the defense here as Asaid and Popopovic take 2 down.
Yeah, they almost had it. I feel like Pocketbook, if he just stayed on that cart, he would have had control over it. I think what there is only a few meters left, 5 meters approximately left on that cart. But we've got another run in here as Pocketbook does have his Shatter online.
We got some good news and some bad news. Good news is 2 minutes left. Really, really close to the end here as they go for a flank. Bad news is not a lot of ults online.
No, it's going to be a little bit dry as a big pick there onto Ruby. But Papaphobic does have the nano applied to him, and Pocketbook taken out again by a flank by AC.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
just
goodness.
getting off these good shatters, but not able to stay alive through it as without that bubble at the right time. It just and Pink's clicking heads. That'll happen.
Yeah, I think Tumbling got a little bit greedy when going for when going for Pink Lines. Pink Lines is a very, very dangerous DPS player.
And it looks like Ruby's gonna stick on this this last-minute Hamster, this Wrecking Ball that was originally brought out for the stall. I thought they were gonna be swapping, but that means that we're gonna have a grab on one side. Let's see if they can build up the defensive ults because it's online in 4% for Cheese Grater.
Ooh, big shatter by Papaphobic. Does find a few, but here comes the Blizzard as well. Coming online. It's in the back with the Blossom. Taking out K-Bears and Cheese Grater, the Dragons as well. Big defense by Hubris Hampter.
And we got less than a minute here. So at least they held on to the grab. And we're going to be seeing a swap from Larry onto the McCree. So the real thing we got to look for here is a big grab with a purple into it to make sure that they can take this home. But they might have to win 2 fights with how much the carts move back now.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to Papaphobic to keeping that shield up. If they can take that shield out, that purple is easy picking. But here we go. Graviton Surge and a big purple! As we predicted, we are prophets of the Overwatch game.
But Said and Pink they just keep clutching it out with 2 picks that really shouldn't have happened.
And I think there might have been a bit of a misclick here as K-Bears was a recipient of that nano. And it looks like that's going to be our team fight here in round 1.
97% to beat. 97%. If anything, okay, we were looking at a potential big brain Toby to Rouge Hong classic Apex nano right there, where let's get those last 10% on the other support to try and get that ult out. Because realistically, if we see a beat drop there, maybe 5 seconds earlier, to me, that's a Jazz Hands winning fight.
Oh, absolutely. You know, especially with like so many potentials for boops and survivability. You know, killing a Lucio that's like just skating all over the walls. It's, you know, it's quite difficult actually, or it can be, depending on who is in control. But let us see what happens on the reverse here.
Yeah, we got a real win condition for Jazz Hands. You know, they may not have capped all 3 points, but they got it right to the end. Right, 107 meters. If you take a look at that box of victory, it might as well be the 3rd point. So as long as they can, you know, of course, ideally you get a hold on this 1st point. But if they're smart and they cycle their ults properly and get every inch out of the map, all they need to do is keep pushing it back, and try to get it to overtime as soon as they can to really get that win on the 2nd map here.
Absolutely, and you know, the momentum was really in Jazz Hands' favor for a lot of that last round. They kind of steamrolled through the 1st point and even the 2nd point for the large part. And then, you know, Hubris Hampter did a really good job of just slowing that team down, really getting a lot of clutch picks from Pink Lions and AC on that Reaper. So
I like this. I like this this change here. Larry's gonna be on the Ashe and get some picks right away too. So Larry and Weeaboo saying like, you're not the only DPS that can get some kills here, as Papa just makes it past the wall.
Oof, and another sleep onto Pocketbook, which really saved a lot of people. But Larry gets the last laugh as he takes out both Papaphobic and AC. So and the wall from Weeaboo and that charge from Pocketbook almost connected really, really well. But it was just one of those things where the geometry was not in your favor. Yeah.
Where it's you might as well toss the dice, whether or not your abilities are gonna work. I'm not bitter. Doesn't happen to me every time I play Reinhardt.
Never, never, ever. So
As We are going to see them taking the high ground here. So Jazz Hands is going to give them a little bit of space. As Larry is coming up on 60% of that bobbert. And we see Ryan's crashing into each other. Big purple.
A big pick here by Pink Lions onto Larry. That assassination style coming in here. Popophobic is getting that nano online, swinging away that mighty hammer, but does get frozen out a little bit. Big hammer from Pocketbook. Can it get anything done? But Pink Lions and AC are just doing so much damage.
We're seeing a little bit of an unfortunate trend where it looks like, quite often we're seeing these really big ults from Jazz Hands, but it's after losing already, one or two people, and a four-man shatter can't win you the game when those four people get up and kill the only two people left.
You know what I saw in that last team fight? I saw a really good pincer attack between both of the DPS on Hubris Hampter. It was really well done, especially with the Eviscerator on that Mercy with that boost. Anyways, the fight continues on, and here comes the duplicate from Pink Lions coming in. Already built up the shatter, swinging that hammer. The Bob is deployed, maybe just to deter Pink Lions just a little bit, but Echo is practically immortal. I mean, a robot that can duplicate into pretty much whatever it sees seems pretty OP to me.
Yeah, not punished on the res, and Pink Lion, he gets picked at the start of it by Larry, but comes back and just owns that fight. Quick shatter, and they got all the momentum back as the Nano Blade comes out.
Yeah, big Nano Blade here. So he does get purple, though. He's in a lot of danger. Eventually does get taken out, but he does find two picks with that, and here comes the res from K-Bears as well. Pocketbook does get taken out. They're going to be down their main tank for this team fight. Popophobic does get the shatter off, does find K-Bears and all of that, but unfortunately, the freeze from Weeboo stopped any sort of progress in terms of damage coming out from that hammer.
Yeah, really big play there. It's coming in close, though, so someone's going to have to touch her. This is going all the way through as Pocketbook runs in, but a big grab.
Yeah, big grab, big hammer on both sides. Big sleep on the Popophobic as well from Harbor. Nano is going to be deployed onto Ruby, so this is a great chance to get a bit of damage onto the table as lots of reses are coming in as Pocketbook is back into the fight. Maybe they can save this. Another Nano being deployed onto Pocketbook. Here it goes as damage is coming in from every corner. Kills on each side. Big charge from Popophobic will take them into the drink. I believe there's a swan ride somewhere over in that direction.
That is a winning play right there, because everybody was low. Pocket had the nano. Without going off the map there, he might have been able to charge back in and hold it, but with that, they take second in 4 minutes, Druid, on the tank here for Hubris Hamster. This is starting to get a little dicey for the hands.
Just a little bit dicey. Pink Lions and Seed have done such a good job of getting picks where they can, and this sort of cooperative dive until now. Larry with a nice, juicy gray matter exposer definitely gets the pick here as Pocketbook taking out Popophobic. Big sleep on the Pink Lions, takes him briefly out of the fight. He is back and out of that duplicate form, and Larry gets the last laugh and the last kill as Pink Lions falls to that bullet, and looks like Popophobic is going to be taken, or sorry, Cheese Grater rather is going to be taken out by Seed, but it's going to be a nice defense coming in from Jazz Hands.
Yeah, Larry really coming alive here and coming in clutch, because a minute burned off the clock now. We got 3 left, and that Bobbert is ready to go, and here it comes.
Yeah, all the way in the backline. Big sleep there by Harbor as well to keep, but he's woken up. Oh, that is not good for resale value as Pocketbook is very low. Here comes the Dragon Blade from SEN with that nano charge, getting a bunch of kills by Weebo in the back, finding a 3K with that high noon. That is gonna save the day. Oh, big sleep there by Harbor, and a big charge kill by Popophobic, a combo attack. That is very deadly. They are still pushing this hard. This is not looking too good here as reinforcements are on their way.
They should win this fight. They should. They have the means to come in and clean up. So it gets close, but ultimately it is a reset. We might have been better off with them backing off instead of going for those last inches here, as the card is going to start moving backwards pretty soon.
And I think this is a bit of revenge now here for Jazz Hands, as defending this 3rd point is obviously something of contention between these two teams, even though Hubris Hampter has been doing such a great job
and
up
Monkey.
to now. And Monkey. Nano
we
deployed
got a Monkey.
Yep, we got a monkey and we got a nano onto Pocketbook, but Pocketbook does take a Larry. So let's see what comes out of this. The Brigida is trapped all alone. Pocketbook trying to get some damage, but Eviscerator boops them away. The high noon from Harbor. Will it find anything? Only but shield, but Eviscerator as well gets taken out. Acid almost gets taken out by Weebu with that headshot. But the fight continues on, and looks like we got an Echo duplicate here coming in from Pink Lions. Will anything come out of it? It looks like the rest of the team of Jazz Hands are going to be backing up. They don't want to get caught in that high noon as I'm saying, does get deployed. But a great job by Cheese Grater to really put the pressure onto them as they dive in to protect the rest of their team.
This is getting scrappy.
Just the way we like it, Dr. Sensible. Just the way we like it.
And let's look for this this Valkyrie here. There it comes. And we're coming up on a nano, so I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Qs here. Yep, there it is, right on the monkey in the back, going for that Echo.
Yeah, the buffet is real as Papa Phobic gets a charge kill onto Larry. Weebu gets a bit of revenge. High noon from Weebu, taking out Pink Lions. They will not be in the rest of the fight here, but the card is still in contention. Cheese Grater doing what they can just to get some pressure in, and it looks like Hubris Hampter are going to back off with 36 seconds left on the point.
It's one last fight here. Now take a look at the ults. We got 4 ults to 0 right now. This is going to be a rough fight for Jazz Hands on this last one. Let's see what they can do.
The Pocketbook retreating like he should be doing. Here comes the Nano Genji coming in. Diving in, trying to get some slash kills coming in. Grabs on Surge as well coming in. SE does find 2, and it looks like Hubris Hampter have this all under control. Pocketbook does get rezzed up, but it might not be enough. No ultimates online. Let's see what happens. And unfortunately, it looks like we've got Hubris Hampter taking it here in Blizzard World.
The hands weren't fast enough. The hamster lives another day, not to be shaken in our very first match of the OFC June tournament, the High June tournament. What an exciting first match, and what a great start to this weekend.
Absolutely, and I couldn't ask for a better person to cast with than you, Dr. Sensible. What a great opening match, and it just,
69% kill participation.
That's what you want to see. If I don't see every vote on there, I'm going to quit the game.